I'm just curious by show of hand, in your family, and a lot of good stories, because I encourage you, if you have elders in your community, videotape them. Listen to those stories, ask them the questions, because I wrote my book when my parents were still alive. Had I waited a few more years, they would have been gone, and I wouldn't have had the rich material that I have. So I encourage all of you. There are great questions on the internet to ask, and I've started doing legacy videos where I come in and people ask me to interview them, and we work on putting together something very special that they can share in their families. So I can tell you, for stories, I adore my grandchildren, and one of them particularly really is like the apple of my eye. Her name is Becca. So Becca and I have sleepovers and we tell stories. And I want Becca to understand, I'm called Bubby, which is grandma, that this Bubby that she sees today came from a very special place. So one day I told her that when I was born in Europe after the war, and we came to the United States in the 50s, and my parents had no money. My father and mother didn't speak English, they didn't have a trade, they had no money to their name. And life was quite difficult, so we had to have boarders. Does everyone know what boarders is?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you what happened with my granddaughter. I explained we had boarders, and sometimes my mother would say to me and my brother, there's not enough food for everyone, so when I pass the food around, say you're not so hungry, and I promise I'll make it up to you later. And we understood this, and it was a way of life. I never thought I was poor, it's just how it was. So I'm telling Becca this whole story, and she looks at me, she goes, Bubby, you really like to read so much? Did you have Barnes and Nobles too? She could not comprehend that I today could have had this life. But I need her to understand that. I think